Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Saturday Night Lights podcast with host Alec Pecino and co-host and host of the Walker Report, which will air on YouTube later today at 8 o'clock. Brad Walker. On the show tonight, we got our Big 12 football preview and our SEC football preview, as well as a lot more. We're not going to keep that waiting. Let's jump right into the Big 12 and preview the Big 12. As you know, Texas Tech won the Big 12 last year in football. Can they do it again this year? I guess we're about to find out. Who do you have under your list of teams that are going to miss a bowl game this year, Brad?
In the Big 12, who will miss a bowl game this year? I'm going to start. I'm going to start with Oklahoma State. They have their replacing head coaches. We'll see how that goes. I'm even going to go out on a limb and say Utah. I think I'll take Oklahoma State and Utah will be the two that will be on the outside looking in this year in the Big 12.
My two Big 12 teams that are going to miss the bowl game, and I'm sorry to do this because I know one of them we picked on last year, and they ended up winning, I think it was 9 games and almost making the Big 12 championship game. First one is Cincinnati. And it's astounding how Scott Satterfield is still coaching him. Because last year we put him on the hot seat every week, it seemed like.
We did. That's correct. That is correct.
And then the next team is Kansas. And I'm sorry to do this, Kansas fans. Yes, you are somewhat a football school, but you're more of a basketball school. But you don't have a quarterback. And I don't know how much longer Lance Leipold has as your coach, because if you start off bad next year, bye-bye. You're getting the
boot.
You're getting the thumb. You're getting that pink slip that says, "Oh, sorry, you're fired. You're fired. Go find a new job." Who are your bowl teams in the Big 12 for next year? For 2026, I should say.
I have 4 in that category. Texas Tech, obviously, BYU, Kansas State, and I'm going to say Houston as well. I like Houston.
Okay.
They're going to be up there being USF. They were in the American 2 years ago or 3 years ago. They transferred to the Big 12 with Cincinnati and UCF.
My first bowl team is Kansas State. And I know they had a really bad season last year. But I see a bounce back this year. And I can see them making a bowl game. Next one is, and I know TCU fans ain't going to like this. It's going to be TCU making a bowl game. I know they were another team that was kind of close to making the Big 12 championship game. But it's hard to say. I think you're making a bowl game. BYU is next. And for the second year in a row, they had a kid kicked off the team for doing some inappropriate things. Parker Kingston pulled a Jake Retzloff and he got himself kicked off the team. But apparently now, I'm guessing, from what I've heard, the charges have been dropped. But the transfer portal's already closed, as we know, so he might have to wait till next year. My next bowl team is West Virginia. And yes, I know year one under Coach Rich Rodriguez didn't go very well for them. And yes, we are friends. Brad and I are friends, if that's what you're asking. But back to we kind of knew that year one for Rich Rod was going to be a tough one at West Virginia because he was bringing in, I think it was like 60 or 70 new kids. Apparently they did the same thing this year in the portal. So I can see them being a bowl team. The next bowl team I have is the team that is in Orlando, the UCF Knights, and the only reason I don't have them as a sleeper is because who's their quarterback going to be? If they had a quarterback that I trusted, I would put them as a sleeper, but I can't. The next bowl team I have is Colorado. And this is a make or break year for, and Brad will agree with me, this is a make or break year for Coach Deion Sanders. And he needs to get his quarterback position correct. Because we saw last year what happened when he played quarterback roulette with Ryan Staub, with Julian Lewis. And Brad and I were talking before the show that Deion's lucky he didn't lose Julian Lewis in the portal. Because we know, and I think everybody knows that watches the show, the transfer portal is no joke. Even if you have a guy that's on your team, other teams can tamper with him and say, oh, we'll offer you this much money to come play for our school. My next two bowl teams are both Arizona schools. First one is Arizona State. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I understand they lost Sam Levitt to LSU, which we will get to the SEC in due time because they are part of this video. But I still believe in Arizona State. And in Arizona, yes, they're going to also be a bowl team. But they did, I believe, unless he got another year, they lost Noah Fafita. And that wraps up the bowl portion. Who are your sleepers in the Big 12?
My sleepers, Bud, would be both Arizona teams. I'm going to say Iowa State, and I hate to mention this team, but I'm going to say UCF. So, those are my sleepers.
My sleeper teams in the Big 12, I've got 3. And I know you had one of them. Okay.
Yeah, that was a cool quip.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's not really, I don't consider that trolling. That's more of just a
joke.
Yeah, trying to get us to laugh. Good one. Cooper's 12. Good joke. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is a college football show, but we do take questions. And as you just saw, we do like to laugh from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
If the joke is appropriate. But so my first sleeper team is Oklahoma State. And there's one main reason why. Who is their coach and where was he last year? Eric Morris was at North Texas last year. And what did he do when he took the Oklahoma State job? As we like to say, as college football fans, he brought his Louis. Finish the statement, Brad. Louis
Vuitton
luggage with him from North Texas. Which, if you don't know what Louis luggage means, ladies and gentlemen, it basically means that he brought a lot of his players that were at North Texas.
Their quarterback.
Yes.
Yep.
The biggest one was Drew Mestemaker. But he brought, I would say, 35-40% of his guys from North Texas with him to Oklahoma State. And I've already heard people saying, oh, Oklahoma State, they could easily go from being bad to being maybe a sleeper in the Big 12, and I buy it. Next is Utah. And yes, I know Kyle Whittingham. They shoot him off, and he ended up at Michigan. But I believe in Morgan Scalley. And they had a dynamic duo at quarterback last year. And I believe they're going to have another good year this year. And then my last favorite team in the Big 12 is Houston, who Brad and I both last year said Houston was 1 year away from being particularly good. And then they said, okay, so we're using this as bulletin board material. Because all offseason last year, we talked about how Houston was not going to be very good. And then I guess they saw our podcast, and they said, you know what, these two guys, they might be on to something. Why don't we go out and get ourselves a quarterback in Connor Rigman? And look how that worked. They ended up making a bowl game and winning their bowl game quite handily. Who are your favorites in the Big 12?
Well, obviously, I think it's going to be a repeat champion. I like Texas Tech, and I'm going to go on a limb, Bud, and say West Virginia as I don't know the limb one, but I'm going to take Texas Tech and the West Virginia Mountaineers are my two locks. But yeah, favorites in the conference.
My favorites in the Big 12 are Texas Tech, Baylor, and Iowa State. And I noticed you didn't say Baylor at all. Is there a reason for that? Do they have a certain guy that used to be on the Gators?
They do.
And we're going to talk about him in a few minutes. But my Big 12 championship game, and ladies and gentlemen, I know this is in April, but this is our conference previews. So my Big 12 championship game just happens to be two Texas schools. One of them located in Waco, and the other one located in Lubbock, Texas. I have Baylor and Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game, and I think Baylor wins the Big 12 this year. Who do you have winning the Big 12 this year?
I have Texas Tech in there also, Bud. You know what? I'm going to say Texas Tech, Houston in the championship.
So two Texas schools, but one of them's on the other side of Texas.
I like the Red Raiders again, but I think Houston will make it interesting.
So well, and here's the thing. Texas Tech's got a new quarterback now. I kind of think that's what was holding them back last year was the fact that Barrett Morton, don't get me wrong, he was a good quarterback, but he couldn't do everything that their new quarterback's going to do. And that's going to be a segue into our next segment where we talk about former Florida Gator quarterback, who Brad knows very well because he's a Gator fan, Mr. DJ Lagway. And I'll let Brad take it away because we're giving our thoughts on DJ Lagway to Baylor. And Brad, you go ahead and take the reins, and you give me your thoughts first on DJ Lagway to Baylor.
I'm very, very happy for him. I don't know if too many Gator fans can say that out loud. But you know what? He saw the writing on the wall, and I think a lot of times is the new head coach coming in to Florida. Maybe he didn't feel like he fit the program. He will make Baylor better. He had over 2,000 passing yards a year ago. The one thing that held him back a year ago, and he's going to have to clean it up, is interceptions. He threw 14, which was the leader in the SEC. And again, I'm not dogging on the Big 12, but the SEC, as far as defensive teams, much better than the Big 12, in my opinion. And that's just me saying that. You can dog me in the comments if you want. He'll have to clean that up. But he's a dual threat quarterback. He can throw the ball. He can also run. and that's what makes him dangerous. And I think that's what's going to help him in Baylor. And again, Alec has them in his championship game at the end of the season. So, it comes down to that. I can't, other than maybe him getting hurt, I don't see him how he would struggle moving from the SEC to the Big 12.
I agree with everything you said, and I'm going to throw something else out there. This is a big year for Dave Aranda because he's another guy we talked about every week last week. It seemed like that he was on the hot seat, then he was off the hot seat, then he was back on the hot seat. He was playing hot potato with the hot seat, basically. He'd be on it one week, then they win. He'd be off, then he'd be back on, off, on. But like you said, I think, as you said, Baylor, I have them in the Big 12 championship game. I could see them being a sleeper for the playoff.
That's cool. Hey, if there any new blood in the college football playoff, that's always a good thing.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the SEC, we are going to rate week 1 college football games, and I'm going to pull up because we can't go through ESPN because they don't have it out yet, so we have to go through. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. We have to go through a different website. Just give me.
Here's some breaking news, but it says Oversight Committee recommended standardizing start date for all college football teams at week 0, since we are on a college football podcast. So the FBS is going to make everybody play in week 0, not just certain teams.
Lovely. So here's the week 1 schedule starting with Thursday, September 3rd. UAB, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff in Missouri. What are we rating this game on a scale of 1 to 10? And negative numbers do count.
Oh, I don't think I would go as far as rating a negative game, but it would have to be near the bottom. I mean, Missouri should handle them pretty well. I can't see how.
Should being the operative word in this instance. It'd be embarrassing if they lost.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty big upset.
Hey, what? Yeah, in Missouri, there's probably going to be no line, no point spread.
Mm-hmm. Probably not.
Would you say like a 2.5?
Yeah, I would say 2.5 out of 5. If you
what about
credit there?
Minnesota, Eastern Illinois? What are you rating this game?
2.
Yeah, 2. Idaho and Utah. It's going to be over by halftime. Right off rip, I can tell you that.
I would give that at least a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, out of 10.
Oh, yeah, I would out of 10. I'd say at least a 4 out of 10. But yeah,
4.5. Yeah. Buffalo and Albany. You Albany 3.
3. I was gonna say
Akron and Wake Forest.
2, 3.
2.5.
2.5.
Be generous.
That's fine. That's fine.
Bethune-Cookman UCF.
That's a battle of Florida.
4.
Dominate that game. So
4.5.
Yeah.
2. Well, one former FCS school and a school that's still in the FCS, Merrimack and Delaware. What are you rating this week 1 game?
I would say at least a 4, Bud, because again, this is like you said, it's an former FCS against FCS school, so I would say at least a 4.
I'm gonna be considered crazy. I'm gonna say 5.
Yeah.
UMass and Rutgers. Oh, here you go. You take it away. It's your favorite school to make fun of.
Yeah, it sounds like a hard candy than a university. Um,
And
but
we're located in Piscataway, New Jersey.
Piscataway.
How fitting.
I flew home when I came home from my European trip last year. We flew through New Jersey, and in the New Jersey airport. There's a huge Rutgers thing in the middle of the airport. I'll say this one because UMass is more of a basketball school than it is a football school. I'll give it a 3.5, 4.
Yeah, I can't go any higher than a 3.5. Colorado and Georgia Tech. What are you rating this game on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, Georgia Tech is going to be one of those teams that they've been pretty good, but in the ACC the last few years, I think, did they go to the ACC championship? No, they did not. It was Duke and Virginia last year in the ACC.
Yep, and Duke won the ACC in football.
Yes, that screwed Virginia out of a playoff spot. And Colorado, like you said earlier, but this is prime time for Coach Prime. No point intended with that speech. I think I would say at least a 5. I think both of those teams will be competitive in their respective conferences. So,
I would agree. 5. Georgia Tech, Kennesaw State in West Georgia.
Kennesaw State, we talked about a lot last year.
I hate to say it. I think they used us talking about them all the time last year as bulletin board
material. Yeah.
Because look what happened. They won the CUSA.
Correct.
So they used it as positive. Positive bulletin board material.
Did they go on and win their bowl game, bud?
No, they got demolished in their bowl game.
Okay.
But they did win their conference. But I'm going to give this a 2.5. The Kennesaw State should be up by at least 20 at halftime.
I don't, and no offense, I don't know who West Georgia is. So
they are so funny story. Kennesaw State used to be in the ASUN for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
West Georgia is now an ASUN school.
Oh, okay. So did they move? Were they an FCS school, bud, and moved to FBS, or are they always been in the FBS?
Who? West Georgia?
West Georgia, yeah.
So I think for football they're FCS, but I know basketball they're in the ASUN.
Oh,
basketball and every other sport they are ASUN. Football they're FCS. So what? I put it at 2.5. What are you putting it at?
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. 2.5.
And then we get to Friday, and there's a lighter schedule on Friday. NYU Kansas is the first game. What? 2.5.
Yeah.
Washington my eyes deceiving me. I thought Washington State played in like week 2 or week 3, not week 1.
That's the Battle of the Apple Cup already. Apple Cup in week 1. Wow. Okay.
That gets an 8 because it's a rivalry game.
I was gonna say, how do you have a game that's a big rivalry in the state of Washington that early in the season without? Yeah, it's got to be up there, bud. I would agree with that. I'd rank it up there as an 8.
Purdue, Indiana State. Do we be nice to Purdue fans?
Purdue really is having it rough after their in-state rival won the national championship last year. So
yeah, now they get to play Indiana State the first game of the football season.
Yeah, I 2, 3 maybe, bud. How?
Oh wait, we went. Go back to Friday. We completely missed the other games on Friday. Whoops.
Oh, Okay.
Sorry. Miami, Stanford.
Yeah, 4.
Wait, could you see this being an upset? Because Miami has to travel across the country
It's a
to,
possibility to face Stanford. That's a
yeah,
possibility. That's a possibility.
San Jose State, Eastern Michigan. What are you rating at? 5?
Yeah.
North Carolina A&T and Georgia State. Yuck.
Oof. I don't know either one of those teams other than I know Atlanta AT was on that movie with Nick Cannon about the marching band or whatever. So,
North Carolina A&T, I believe, is a HBCU.
it's not a. I don't. Yeah. Um, I don't know. 2
Two
to
and a
give it.
half.
Yeah, to give it some kind of. We're not beating up on those teams.
Abilene Christian and Texas Tech. 4.
Well, Texas, they should be. They should demolish Abilene Christian. So I'll give it a
And
3.
we already went over Purdue, Washington, Washington State, Purdue, Indiana State.
Okay.
So Eastern Kentucky, Jacksonville State. This used to be an A-Sun battle in basketball before Jacksonville State dipped and went to the CUSA.
I'd say a 5. I like to see. I
5.
like to see that matchup. Yeah.
K-State and are we talking money here? Nichols.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's a money game. I'm sure.
Oh, there's zero doubt. I have 2. Kansas State's gonna mop the floor.
It'll be a blowout. Yep.
Central Michigan, New Mexico, 4.
4. I was gonna say that's yeah.
Oh. FAU and University of Florida.
Yeah, that's so. This is FAMU.
No, Florida Atlantic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I would say a 4.
5.
It's 4 or 5. FAU's the Owls.
Is this a money game for FAU?
I think Florida is kind of paying them to come play in Gainesville.
You got to tell me that. Tell me this is a money grab right here. Missouri State going to College Station.
Oh yeah, no, that's no doubt. That should be a blowout game too. A&M
2.5, 1.5.
Yeah.
Sorry, Missouri State fans. We're not trying to be mean, but it's probably gonna be over by halftime. Lamar, oh boy, it's a battle of L schools. Lamar in Louisiana. What are you? -1?
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't rate. I'd say at least a 1. I'm not gonna rate a game's negative, so I'll just say 1.
I don't think I'm even gonna break a sweat picking that game on week 1. Hey, we're going to App State next year. App State in Maine. 2.
Yes.
Houston Christian and Rice. Oh, lovely. So you're telling me we have to rate a food. Why do you do this to us, college football? Why? Just why?
Being that Rice is in the conference with USF, I'll give it a 3 or 4 at least for that.
Yeah.
I would think they win. If they don't, then it's going to be a bad year for the Owls of Rice.
Nevada and Western Kentucky. Yeah, decent non-con game.
That game could be interesting. I'd say at least a 6. That game could be very interesting because it's
in Las Vegas. What's the saying? What happens in Vegas
stays in Vegas.
And I would imagine there's not going to be a lot of defense in that game. Because we know Western Kentucky can easily light up the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it a 6. Oh, yay. Kentucky and Youngstown State and Kentucky. 2.
Yeah.
Western Michigan and Michigan. We got to be nice to Michigan because next one will be in week 2.
Yeah.
5. 4.5.
Yeah.
And I think this game was supposed to be in Germany. It was supposed to be overseas somewhere, and apparently now they're trying to move it back to the United States.
Probably because of travel and being over in that part of the world is probably not safe. So yeah, I could see that.
Well, they were, but I think that was because of Sharon Moore and Michigan wanted him to coach. But as we know, he ain't the coach there anymore.
Nope.
VMI and Virginia Tech. James Franklin's first game as head coach at Virginia Tech. 4.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least a 4.5. Yeah.
UTEP, Oklahoma. 2.
4? You said 2?
I think it's going to be over by halftime.
Oklahoma should win that game easily.
Tarleton State and Bowling Green.
2.
2. West Virginia, Coastal Carolina. Interesting non-con game.
I would say 5 or 6 at least.
5.5.
Yeah.
UL Monroe and Mississippi State. Another money grab game. I would think, right? Because Louisiana Monroe's in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, I would say 3 or 4.
3. Charleston Southern and Georgia Southern. Oh, yay, lovely. Battle of 2 schools that have Southern in their name.
2 or 3?
2. Being generous. And Georgia Southern was, as we know last year, Georgia Southern, we talked about their coach a lot, Del McGee. Well, he was on the hot seat. And we will get to hot seat talk in a little bit for coaches. UNLV and Hawaii. First of all, good luck, UNLV, because you got to travel from Vegas
to Honolulu.
Yep. And I think that's a shorter flight than having to go from.
I think it's a 3-hour flight, bud, from Vegas to Honolulu. I'm not sure.
It's a shorter flight than going from Florida
to Hawaii.
Hawaii, yeah. Florida to Hawaii is 8 hours.
It's an interesting matchup.
5?
Yeah, I would say at least 5.
Missouri Valley State and welcome to the FBS, Sacramento State. 4. Sacramento State. This game should be over by halftime, if not earlier. South Dakota State and Northwestern. 3.
Yep.
Bryant and Army. We got to give some respect to the service academy. So 4.5.
Yeah, to the Black Knights. Yep.
North Alabama and Arkansas. I'm going to say this. If Arkansas loses this game, their coach should be fired immediately.
I would agree.
2.
Yeah.
Next one's probably also 2. Louisiana Tech and Northwestern State.
Yeah.
Would we make it 3 in a row by saying that South Carolina and Kent State gets a 2?
Yeah, that might be a money grab for Kent State.
What about ECU and Bama?
ECU at Bama? I would at least say 4 or 5 in that game because Bama.
Could you see a avenue where ECU pulls the upset?
Hey, you know what? Week 1, catch them early. You never know.
Well, and the thing with Alabama is Ty Simpson's not their quarterback anymore.
Yeah.
It's going to be one or two guys that are inexperienced. It's either going to be Keelan Russell or it's going to be Austin Mack.
Right.
No, I think his name's. I know his last name's Mack. I can't remember if it's something Mack, but for UAB Illinois, yuck. 2.5.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, no more Trent Dilfer.
Yep.
Tennessee State and money grab.
Yep. Correct.
Georgia should just win.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'll be a blowout.
UT. Oh, that's University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. That's a lot. That's a mouthful. And UTSA, 2.
Yeah.
Morgan State, Arizona State, 2.
Uh-huh.
Colorado State, Wyoming,
3.
3. North. Oh, the defending national champions open their season against North Texas. 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4.
Mercyhurst in New Mexico State.
2.
2. Utah. Oh, that's another one. Utah Tech and BYU. 3.
Yeah.
It's an all California school matchup. UCLA Cal. 3.
Yeah, it's about yep.
Alcorn State and Southern Miss. 1.
2. Yeah.
FIU South Florida. 5.
5. I was gonna say, yeah.
Sorry, we're being homers. Liberty James Madison.
4? I mean
4.5.
Yeah, they're both
Lafayette and UConn.
2, 3.
2. UConn's got a new head coach. Jim Moore's not there anymore. Hampton and Maryland and Hampton. Yuck.
2.
2. Oh, hey. Tennessee and Furman.
That's a money grab.
Oh, big time money grab. 1.
Yeah.
And that's no slack toward Tennessee. It's just we don't feel like it's going to be much of a game. Fresno State USC. 2.
Yeah.
That's. Can you say that's a money grab?
Could be, and you never know too. Maybe Fresno State pulls off an upset.
Yeah. Duquesne and Air Force. Money grab.
3 or 4.
I agree. Do you think that's a money grab for Duquesne?
Yeah. I'm sure the Academy, the Air Force Academy invited them to Colorado Springs. Yeah.
Miami, Ohio, Pitt.
3.
3. Boston. Clemson, LSU. 6.
Yeah, the Battle of Death Valley.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Look at the next game. Boston College.
In North Carolina?
Boston College, Cincinnati. Ugh.
Ooh.
3.5.
Yeah.
Sorry, Billy O. Boston College is just they're atrocious in football. Boise State, Oregon should be interesting.
Yes.
3. No. I feel like we're criminally underrating them then. 5?
I was gonna say at least half. I'd say 5.
Ooh, Baylor, Auburn, and Atlanta? That's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
It's a battle of two former quarterbacks from the state of Florida. Byron Brown and DJ Lagway.
Uh-huh.
And we'll talk about Byron Brown and Auburn in a little bit. 6?
Yes. I would say at least a 6, but
Ohio State, Ball State. This is, as an Ohio State fan, this is a definite money grab by Ball State.
yeah. Correct.
So 2.5.
Yeah.
Vandy, Austin P.
Another money grab for Austin P.
2.
Yeah.
Memphis, Arkansas State. This is the first one I might give a 9 to. It's going to be an interesting non-conference game. Would you agree?
Yes.
Marshall and Penn State. Penn State should. I say should. They should wipe the floor with Marshall. And then we're going to round it out with, because I know there's a bunch of games probably still left, but we need to speed it up a little bit. Murray State and Middle Tennessee. 2. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the regular screen. We are going to go over our SEC football preview. Who are your non-bowl teams in the SEC?
You know, I would love to say Tennessee, but I can't say that. I can't say that out loud. If you don't know, guys on here, I am an SEC fan. The only team in the conference I cannot cheer for is the Volunteers. I have a hatred,
distinct dislike
for the Volunteers of Tennessee. Nothing against the state of Tennessee, just the university itself. The only good thing that came out of University of Tennessee was Pat Summitt.
And Paul Skeens.
And Paul, yeah, and yes. My non
and Levy Dutton.
Yes. My non bowl game teams will probably be, I would say, Kentucky, Arkansas. Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi State, I think would be my 3. And no dogging on the dogs, but just I don't know with what's going on there in Starkville. I think that's where University of Mississippi.
Starkville, yes. My non-bowl team, I only have one, and it is Arkansas, because they have a new head coach, and as we know, it usually takes 1 or 2 years for that new head coach to get his
kids in
there, whether it be recruits, transfers. Who are your bowl teams in the SEC?
Bowl teams, most of the conference. I'm gonna go and say Florida, Missouri, and Tennessee,
which is Brad's favorite team to pick to win the conference.
Yes.
If you don't know, go back to our, I think it was 3rd episode we did.
Yeah, if you do not know, I picked Missouri to win the SEC 2 years ago, and they, the bed, and yeah. So, anyway, but I'm going to take Missouri, Tennessee, and Florida as my 3 teams to be bowl eligible or win a bowl game.
My bowl team list is quite long. I've got Auburn, Kentucky, Florida, Mississippi State, South Carolina. So that was 4. Who's your sleepers in the SEC?
Sleepers, I'm going to go Auburn as my first sleeper. And no offense to them, I'm going to go LSU. It's Lane Kiffin. I understand he's the big hire, but let's see how he does switching.
And according to Ole Miss fans, he's the big traitor.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works out in Baton Rouge.
My sleepers, I have LSU, Missouri, Oklahoma, Bama, Texas, and I know this team's fan base is probably gonna get on me for putting them in this category, but Georgia. Sorry, Georgia fans. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're no longer a favorite in the SEC. In my opinion, you've been relegated to the sleeper tier. And it's not because of your coach. Your coach, Kirby Smart, is one of the top 10 coaches in college football. But the issue is he can't keep his kids out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how that works. Just ask everybody all the kids that have been at Georgia. Oh, wait, you can't because most of them are in the NFL.
Uh-huh. But for the
yes. The Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Correct. Correct.
Who are your favorites in the SEC this year?
I have 3. I have Oklahoma, I have A&M, and I have Georgia. That's my 3 favorites in there.
And who is your SEC championship game, and who is the winner of the SEC?
My championship game, I didn't even mention them, is Ole Miss because they're getting their quarterback back. Chambliss is coming back. I'm going to say Ole Miss and Georgia, and I think this is the year the Rebels win the SEC championship.
My favorites in the SEC are Tennessee, A&M, and Ole Miss. And yes, I know Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback, but have we seen what they did in the transfer portal? They did a lot in the portal. They brought in Chaz Coleman. Even though there's people out there saying, oh, Chaz Coleman did that just for the money and he's going to leave Tennessee and go somewhere else. I don't believe that. I think once Tennessee figures out their QB situation, that whether it be one of the 2 freshmen, because it's not, I think both Brad and I can agree, it's not going to be Ryan Stock. Because if it is, you Tennessee fans, you're in for a long season if it's Ryan Stock. And my SEC championship game is a team that I have as a bowl team in Auburn and one of my favorites, Tennessee. And I think Alex Golesh wins the SEC in his first year.
Okay.
I know it's crazy talk, but and now, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the segment everybody stuck around for, and that is the coach's hot seat. The first one of the year. And yes, we will do this again right before week 1. So, but Brad, take it away. Who's on the hot seat?
Well,
let me say this. Brad's going to give us the coaches on the hot seat, and both Brad and I are going to say whether we agree or whether we don't agree.
Well, I think the hottest seats right now is in my home state, in Tallahassee. I think Mike Norvell's seat is volcanic. I think if that team, they get off to a bad start, he's gone. And I have mentioned that I talked to a Florida State fan not too long ago. that I think that if he does get fired, they're going to roll the red carpet out for Dion no matter how he does in Colorado, because that's Dion's alma mater. And I'll think that they'll roll out the red carpet for him. But I know Norvell's buyout is huge. But if they get off to a bad start, they finished 5-7 a year ago. You know how much more that alumni and those fans in Tallahassee can put up with that. So,
Yeah. No, I would agree 100%. Who is next on the hot seat?
It's Luke Fickell in Wisconsin. Obviously, I think we mentioned him, Bud, a lot last year. I wouldn't say volcanic, but I'm close enough. He's got to be close. I know being in the Big Ten, you got to beat Michigans, you got to beat the Ohio States, you got to beat these teams. He has not done that, and I think he's got to be on the hot seat, in my opinion.
I would agree. Who is the next victim of the hot seat?
We were talking about him earlier. We were talking about his team in our Big 12 thing, but Dave Aranda definitely has to be on the list. He's 36-37 in his 7 years at Baylor, and they did win it. They did win the Big 12 in 2021, which is not too long ago, but I think he's got to be also on the hot seat as well when it comes to that.
I would agree. Who's next?
Next is Shane Beamer.
Wait. Do the South Carolina again, but I want to do the coach.
Okay, go ahead.
Shane Beamer. I'm sorry, I had two South Carolina fans.
He
and his dad, Frank Beamer, would not be too pleased.
He was 4-8 last year, and that's not going to cut it in the SEC. So he's going to have to improve. I think his seat's hot too in South Carolina.
I would agree. And who is next, or is that it?
I have one more. Mike Locksley at Maryland. Again, this is 8 consecutive losses so they started the season 4-0, only to go 4-8. This is me. I don't mean to pick on Maryland at all, but I just don't think they belong in the Big Ten. I don't think that they're competitive that way. And
my issue with Maryland is I don't think they care about football.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. They care more about all the other sports. Basketball. Basketball is the biggest one. They care more about basketball than they do football.
Correct.
If they cared more about football, Mike Locksley would have got his pink slip. He would have got fired last year.
Correct.
And there's analysts out there saying that Maryland made the right choice bringing him back. How? Did you see how they finished the end of last year?
Mm-hmm.
Anemic. Atrocious. Horrible. But before we get out of here, Brad, tell them about your show.
Yeah, we'll be on YouTube Live at 8 o'clock, about an hour and 20 minutes from now. We'll be talking NBA, Live Golf. We'll be going over the Masters tournament from this past week. Congratulations to Rory on back-to-back Masters championships. We'll get into a little bit more topics as well, but we'll see you. Like I said, me and Alec will be back together at 8 o'clock on my show, The Walker Report, which will be on the Walker Report YouTube channel. So if you guys are here, come on over there. I figured out the kinks of how to get it to work on YouTube for the whole show, not just the hour and a half like it was last week. But we'll be over there at 8 o'clock, guys. So come on over there and join us.
And it's not confirmed yet, ladies and gentlemen, but it sounds like we might be having a Around the Diamond podcast episode on Monday, maybe at 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
Brad is going to let me know probably Sunday night, Monday morning.
I should know, buddy, by, I would say, probably by Sunday or Monday. I'll let you know. Yeah.
But we will keep you all updated. But till then, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and we will hopefully see most of you at 8 o'clock.
Good night, everybody.